Well, back again with another review for you guys. This time I am back with a game that came out at the beginning of summer, I believe. Sometime around that time this year. That have seemed to strike some conversation within game at the time, especially for story and consequence. And just a little bit of controversy across the board about this game as far as the story is concerned. And of course the game I am talking about is Spec the Line.
These people have seen the end of the world. No food, no water, no hope. Friends dead, family butchered. They live in hell, and yet they still take time to smell the dying roses.
Well, the story of Spec the Line is to take place a little bit after a dramatic sandstorm have hit Dubai, and now it's pretty much apocalyptic. And you play as 3 soldiers sent in there to see if any survivors are still around and do recon, because the contact with them have been lost after the sandstorm happened. And as the main character, one of your commanding officer who saved your life in a mission that takes place obviously before this, you go in there trying to find him since you knew he was in there at the time of the sandstorm. And the story really started going down the way of looking into the psyches of soldiers and how do they deal with the stuff they see and do, and especially as the main character, the things that you have to do. Because in the game you will get many decisions. Sometimes you will be given an opportunity to do some things and you don't even realize you're making a choice to after the fact. And it really play heavily on the psyche of the warriors, especially the main character. Because the other 2 soldiers that are with you, starting out seem very much tongue-in-cheek there to keep the conversation flowing and try to keep a little bit lightheartedness to the overall story.
I don't know. Sounds like a waste of 3 stone-cold, ruggedly handsome Delta operators such as ourselves.
Think of it as a paid vacation.
Well, for future reference, I prefer my beaches with a 3-to-1 sexy lady dead body ratio.
Lugo, do you ever actually hear the shit coming out of your mouth?
No, I do not, sir. I find it messes with me.
But very quickly, that stopped fading away and really start going into some dark and interesting places with the story and the characters. And you really kind of feel for the character. And the story is actually really well told. And actually will, of course, spark conversation like it did when it came out. Because the way that the story goes is very much a conversation piece. But the story do have some downfalls. In between certain places, it might have a couple plot holes here or there. Well, some stuff that just overall don't make sense of why the characters are doing this. But that seemed to be more of a more early on situation and not so much the last half of the game. But the gameplay itself is made up of pretty much a cover-based shooter. The main distance here is now you can command your 2 other teammates. They will attack enemy, kill them out, snipe them, throw a grenade, flash bomb. Pretty much at a push of a button, which is easily very intuitive and at the same time really give you a lot of control over them, believe it or not, even if you're only doing 1 button click. And in return, this city can become a little more noticeable and get into some of the problems. Because in certain missions, you will be separated from your team. And when they are not around, the game can get really difficult. And any more so if you don't have your full squad with you. It becomes quite difficult really quickly. And in some cases, just really repetitive dying over and over again just to get past a small little encounter. Any on the normal setting, you're going to die a lot. You will die a lot when you're with your team. You will die even more when you're alone. And going down to any easy, you are affecting pretty much a decent challenge here. Bet to die a lot. And return in these sections, it really can drag it down and really overall just make you not want to play this anymore because it's just too much. But if you can suffer through all of that, and actually see some other interesting thing that game do, because on top of the normal give command, third person shooter, is you have the sands. since this is the buy-in sand apocalypse, you can use sand to destroy your enemies, and in some cases, actually use the sand to get to wherever your objective is. But this is kind of a mixed feeling here. It's really cool when you get able to use the sand, and in some cases you really have fight in sandstorms that will actually blur your vision and make it where you can't command your people. But when you are actually like shooting out windows to flood people or making platform with sand, that is really cool and awesome. The problem is that you don't really do it that much. It's only a handful of cases within the game where you can any do it. The only thing with the sand that you can pretty much do constantly is with the grenades. Because if you are out in the sand, if you throw a grenade when it blow up, anybody that is in the area but not affected by the black lady will get sand in their eye and actually stun them. So in return, the grenade can come a really interesting tool, not just to get people out of cover or to kill them. It can be used as a distraction technique and help you kill people very, very quickly. But the other thing that the game got going forward here is the multiplayer, or have, quote unquote, would be going for it. The multiplayer in simple terms is not good. And at the time of the recording, people are playing it, but not that many. And how it all set up, it's very Call of Duty like, with you unlocking items and perks and whatnot, and you gain level from playing more and more multiplayer games. And the issue here is a lot of the game modes are a lot behind levels, like 20 and 30 level range, to unlock very, very simple game mechanics. And really seem to want to focus you down playing a handful of game type before any get a billion the game overall. But in the actual game, it just feels sluggish, unresponsive, and you die very quickly, but in return, you kill very quickly. It just feels very, very tacked on, though. So, overall, back up the line, the story is interesting anywhere the plot holds. The game can be extremely unfair and unbalanced in sections, but your teammate command work perfectly, and if you can honestly make it a pat to die in sections over and over again, this is a story that I can recommend, and hopefully some people will actually enjoy it, because this is a really interesting story with multiple endings and epilogues that can be unlocked, which will give you any more alternate endings. And the choices actually add some replay value here. Any of the multiplayer is almost dead at that point, and really not that good to begin with. So overall, I give Back Up the Line a 3 out of 5.